On behalf of the Genesee County Economic Development Center and the Genesee Gateway Local Development Corporation, our Board of Directors and staff, I'm pleased to welcome you to our 2024 annual meeting. My name is Mark Massey. I'm the Senior Vice President of Operations of the GCEDC. Today is a very bittersweet day for our agency as we celebrate the success we've shared and thank Steve Hyde for his service as our President and CEO. More about Steve after lunch, but we are very glad to see him here today as he continues to recuperate from surgery. I know it may sound like a broken record, but 2023 was another hugely successful year for our county, and 2024 is already off to a strong start. As many of you know, Governor Hochul announced today the start of construction of Edwards Vacuum Semiconductor Dry Pump Factory of the Future at STAMP. This project is the hub of a burgeoning supply chain initiative to support the advanced manufacturing and semiconductor industries. And it is part of announced investments that will ultimately generate over $1 billion of private investment and nearly 700 jobs at STAMP. With infrastructure and qualities of our community, we continue to hear from our corporate site selectors and economic development officials across the country and the world about the opportunities our 500 plus available acres can generate. At the Genesee Valley Agri-Business Park, H.B. Hood recently announced a $120 million expansion which will create about 50 new jobs, pushing employment above 500 workers while creating an additional 50 million economic impact in the community, and another commitment to taking an increased amount of milk supply from our dairy farmers in our region. The Ag Park is almost at full capacity and has become a hub of the food processing industry in the Northeast and is keeping our dairy farmers very busy. In Pembroke, Nexgistics completed a 50-foot tall logistics facility and headquarters. Just up the road, Brickhouse Commons, a mixed-use development that includes much-needed market-rate apartments, recently opened and already has tenants. In Batavia, Rochester Regional Health, New York Bus Sales, and Land Pro Equipment completed major investments. And we can't forget the local homegrown success stories as once again Liberty Pumps completed another expansion with a recent opening of a materials center in Bergen. Finally, last July, National Grid completed a significant milestone to support STAMP's current and future tenants by completing a reroute of the existing 115 kV transmission line that opens up significant acreage and also holds the first distribution line from the 600 megawatt substation being constructed at STAMP. In 2023, the GCEDC recorded 11 project wins that will generate approximately $700 million in economic activity. In the past 2 decades under Steve Hyde's leadership, the GCEDC has over 500 wins that have generated about $2.25 billion of investment. There's 5 million square feet of new and renovated facilities across the county, and together we have created thousands of new jobs, not to mention thousands more retained. Genesee County continues an unprecedented run of economic success, and for the 20th consecutive year, we were named as one of our nation's top micropolitans for business by Site Selector magazine. For more information and details on these projects and others, please see the copy of the GCEDC 2023 annual report, which was provided in all of your chairs here today. For an insight into how all of this is possible, all you need to do is take a look around the room. Genesee County and our partners in government, business, education, construction, workforce, and community make this the best place to grow. Our success is a direct result of all of you who are willing to take the risks, provide the support and collaboration to make these projects happen. I want to acknowledge the various officials who are here because while we keep emphasizing private sector job growth and capital investment, we could not do this work without the help of so many local, state, and federal government officials. Please hold your applause until I recognize everyone. From the Genesee County Legislature, Gordon Dibble, Marianne Clattenburg, Christian Juncker. They are joined by numerous county department heads and employees, including Genesee County Assistant Manager Tammy Farringer. From the GCDC and GGLDC Board of Directors, GCDC Chair Pete Zeliff, GCEDC Vice Chair Matt Gray, Board members Paul Battaglia, Katie Manning, Craig Juncker, and Marianne Clattenburg. I want to welcome New York State Senator George Borrello, who is always ready to advocate for Genesee County and our projects at STAMP. Thank you, Senator, for your support on behalf of our economic development work in Genesee County. We also want to thank our partners in Empire State Development, led by Senior Vice President of Strategic Business Development in Global New York, Jeff Januszewski. We are also joined by J.W. Cook, Governor Hochul's Finger Lakes Regional Representative. I also want to welcome our good friend Chris Zeltman, who is the Rochester and Finger Lakes Regional Director for Senator Schumer. We also want to thank Courtney Bell, the Western New York Regional Director for Senator Gillibrand. We also have George McInerney representing Congresswoman Claudia Tenney and Eileen Banker representing Assemblyman Steve Hawley. We are joined by officials from the city of Batavia and the towns of Alabama, Batavia, Bergen, Oakfield, Pavilion, and Pembroke. From Niagara County, I want to welcome Tom Sy, who runs the Town of Lockport IDA, and Jennifer Bieber, Superintendent of the Niagara County Water District. And of course, cannot forget to mention our great partners, Matt Hurlbut from Greater Rochester Enterprise and Tom Kacharski from Invest Buffalo Niagara. All of you have been tremendous partners in our efforts to grow the Genesee County and the surrounding region economies. Thank you for your commitment, your time, and your dedication to the public service and to the communities and constituents and the stakeholders that you serve. At this time, I'd like to welcome Marianne Clattenburg, Vice Chair of the Genesee County Legislature, who will lead us in an invocation.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you all for coming together to celebrate Genesee County and our partners. It is a tremendous honor and responsibility to serve as the Vice Chair of Genesee County's legislature and to represent the people of this county. As a county, Genesee is connected by our shared goals and ambitions and a commitment to meet our shared needs. We connect major metropolitans with strengths renewed by our small towns and hard work. We create partnerships within and across our borders because we work toward accomplishments that benefit generations to come. The Genesee County Economic Development Center, like our county, is steadfast in achieving the goals of our community. A vital agricultural community boosted by food and beverage manufacturing, sites capable to support onshoring and growth of advanced manufacturing, vibrant housing options to support our main streets and communities, and an emerging workforce ready to grow, work, and be happy in Genesee County. As Mark shared, we have much to celebrate. As Steve Hyde has shared, over 2 decades, we are driven to achieve more for our community. I believe that our partners in the region, state, and country can appreciate that our goals are not always easy to achieve, but that we will persevere in creating our own future in Genesee County. We have proven that together with you, our partners, we achieve success after success. Thank you again for celebrating with us today. Please join me in giving thanks as a community as we share this table together. Lord, we give thanks for your gifts of grace and goodness as we gather together. May the gifts on this table nourish us for the long journey ahead. May your Spirit abide with us to transform us to the presence of your risen Son. As we continue to live as your disciples, grant us reflection on our daily lives and the service we share with others. We ask for your blessings today on all those in harm's way, those protecting our freedoms, those providing public safety, and those whose decisions impact our lives. We ask all of this in your name. Amen. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marianne. On the screens during lunch, you will see some of the 3,500 youth in our community that participated in career-focused workforce training programs. Genesee County has a tremendous workforce training initiative with various area partners, including the GLOW Workforce Development Board, SUNY Genesee College, Genesee County Business Education Alliance, Genesee Valley BOCES, and Cornell University. All of this work is coordinated at the GCEDC by Chris Swazi. Through Chris and these area organizations, they are preparing the next generation of the region's workforce, providing them with the skills to meet the needs of the ever-evolving and changing workplace.
Thanks, Mark. On behalf of the Genesee County Economic Development and Genesee Gateway Local Development Center, Thank you all again for joining us at our annual meeting. Members of the GCEDC and GGLDC boards are volunteers interested in growing the economy. It's an honor to serve our county, and it's a pleasure to work with GCEDC's professional staff. As board members, we regularly interact with the expanding businesses making investments in our community, the infrastructure projects growing our capacity, and the opportunities we look to embrace.
These decisions have contributed to over $2 billion of committed investments, thousands of new and enhanced jobs, and achievements in site development that will bring that will bring more businesses and career opportunities to Genesee County. As president and CEO, Steve Hyde has been with this board every step of the way. Since 2003, Steve has led our economic development efforts, our approach as a one-stop shop for business development in finding and developing and filling sites suitable for growth.
Steve, your energy and your impact is known throughout the community and the state. As board members, we see how you put yourself into the challenges, opportunities, and projects that the GCEDC and GGLDC pursue. And we see how your work can broaden to every element of a growing economy, but remains focused on our goals. Along the way, I've seen Steve in negotiating the big deals, coming to us with deal after deal. It's not, every deal hasn't stuck, but there's a lot of them that have, and it's grown our economy tremendously. And Steve's been right there along the way, going after things that we thought would never happen. So, thank you for that. And we're not alone. So Steve, before calling you up to the stage, we wanted to hear from some of our other people that have joined you along the way. Need a little sound. A little technical difficulties.
20 years ago, I, as a board member of the Genesee County Industrial Development Agency, had the opportunity to be part of the selection process for a new executive director. We had many candidates to choose from, but Steve Hyde was our selection. A gifted individual with experience from the big corporate world of Xerox. We were not sure of the fit with small town and county economic development. We were won over with his commitment to home and family and a desire to raise their family here in Genesee County.
Steve hit the road running with a vision, the potential that Genesee County had to offer and expanded upon. The visions never stopped, they just exploded.
There was no project or client that was too big or imposing. He was determined that Genesee County be recognized statewide, even nationwide, as a great place to locate.
Across our region, Steve has brought to the table a plan to grow our economy with shovel-ready sites, accelerated workforce development, and opportunities that can grow in a community like Genesee County.
As supervisor of the town of Leroy at that time, staff was a world away from our more agrarian economy. Steve wove together our shoulder municipalities, counties, and education centers and leaders to support the vision of STAMP.
Steve's approach to economic development was comprehensive and creative. Beyond the projects themselves, he was focused on the supporting peripherals, the park development, the infrastructure build-out, workforce supply, workforce development, even housing.
GCEDC has always been that one steady and consistent growing force, proactive, and also very much on the cutting edge, and again, the envy of a lot of the rest of the state of New York.
Steve has always been able to partner and negotiate with town and political leaders and property owners in a way to keep things moving forward.
Steve was just fearless. He would contact and work with anyone or any entity necessary to forward the interests of the EDC and its clients or the community.
I admired you for many years for your vision and your perseverance and your doggedness on making your part of the world a much better place. And doing it in collaboration with many partners and working through a lot of very difficult and sticky situations.
The seeds are planted for continued growth and sustainability. Whether it be in agriculture, healthcare, technology, advanced manufacturing, or education.
And at staff, the announcement that Edwards has already broken ground on the factory of the future for semiconductor dry pump manufacturing, once again, shows the real success that's possible with a mega site and a team leading the way.
For what you've done for Western New York in terms of economic development, having sites ready for new businesses to come in to employ our children and grandchildren. It's nothing short of laudable.
We told Steve that economic development was taking risks. Sometimes you just have to jump and grow your wings on the way down. Grow wings, he did, and soared like an eagle. I hope that eagle takes the time to view the successes from the heights we have reached.
Thank you for your leadership, for your vision, your passion, your tenaciousness in not losing the vision that you've brought to us and shared with us all here in Genesee County. Thank you.
And Steve, I want to add one more voice from our most knowledgeable leaders about our community and its potential. Having served as both our director for 6 years and a board member for 18 years before that, John Dwyer's experience in both roles is laudable. John was unable to join us today, but he asked that we share his appreciation with you. Steve Hyde, a hometown product with an extraordinary educational and business background, arrived at the GCEDC, now the GCEDC, with an expanded vision and potential for the agency and the county's future. Next, he was able to add a talented and enthusiastic staff. Talent, education, and experience with the goal of excellence. Steve Hyde had the it factor. Most certainly, Steve developed and established a reputation as the most talented and successful economic developer in New York State and beyond. Congratulations, Steve. Enjoy your retirement with a sense of true accomplishment. Steve, thank you, and please accept this award from our boards.
Figures it's a shovel, you know? It's awesome. Gotta love it. Thank you, everybody. I think the only thing I can say is all you know is you got me messy over there. I so appreciate our board, past and current. They've had great advice for us as a team, our partners. It's been a blessing to work with y'all, and I'm gonna miss you, so thank you again.
Okay, each year we are pleased to honor our Economic Development Partner of the Year. This award highlights the outstanding contributions our communities, businesses, educators, and utilities make to the growing Genesee County and our economy. This year, we are honoring an organization that has led efforts to improve our readiness for major projects, support expanding manufacturers, and grow our communities. Empire State Development, led by Commissioner Hope Knight, is represented today by Senior Vice President, Strategic Business, Jeff Januszewski, Senior Vice President for Economic Development, Vincent Epicito, Finger Lakes Regional Director, Laura Fox O'Sullivan. Senior Directory of Industry Development and Foreign Trade, R.J. Ball. Economic Development Program Specialist, Greg Albert. And Press Secretary, Sherry Voorhees Vincent. Thank you.
Empire State has a statewide focus and has shown a deep commitment to Genesee County that benefits all of our communities. New York State's investments through Empire State Development has boosted expansion at our Agri-Business Park that support over 1,000 jobs in Genesee County. Its stamp, Empire State Development leads the growth of both our infrastructure capabilities and our connections to the projects that will, like Edwards, find a great home in Genesee County. And in meaningful places like the Downtown Revitalization Initiative and Restore New York, ESD is improving our Main Street and attacking blight.
As we grow our economy and our county, Empire State Development's proactive support and delivers results, we are proud to honor you as Partner of the Year. Would you guys please come up?
Because you're all on the white or the screen, with the screen right over here. Right against the wall. Everybody's you guys. Get a little tighter. You take the picture, sure you gotta be in.
So I know Steve must have been taken by surprise from the award because he missed his piece of where he was supposed to give some remarks. So I think at this point, we'll let Steve come back up and give his remarks, and then we'll hear from our keynote speaker.
Here he comes.
Yeah, let me grab this first.
All right, that's right.
Well, you didn't think I was going to let this go without me being able to say a little more than what I did, right? Come on, me? Really? So we got to do rewind. So thank you, Mark, for bringing me back up. See, even Rachel remembers. But, you know, thanks, Pete, and everyone here today. You know, I so appreciate all the comments and well wishes and kind words. Thank you. You guys are just, it's so appreciated. You know, as you've all heard, it's my final meeting, and appreciate the chance to reflect a little bit on, you know, what we've accomplished and also look to the future. And I want to thank all of the GCEDC board members that we have here today. You know, Paul, Craig, Pete, Greg, Kathy, man, Matt, geez, and then Charlie and Shelley and Jim Vincent. You know, that part about Jim that said that was that statement he made to me some 20 years ago was really what started our whole focus on building industrial parks. It was when we were contemplating making the investment in the ag park, and he said, Steve, you got to jump and grow wings on the way down sometimes. So, and it always stuck with me. So, but incredible board members through the years, and the county legislature too. They've just given me this opportunity to, you know, work to make things happen. You know, our true north has always been about creating and making better jobs for our kids and our residents, and that's really what it is. It's really been our true north vision for 22 years now. I can't believe this is our 22nd one of these, and I'm gonna miss y'all. Having the opportunity, though, to get off the busyness of the private sector growth and travel circuit some 20 years ago, and to be able to come back home with the opportunity to make a difference in our economic trajectory here in this community has really been gratifying and very fulfilling. You know, I already knew when I started this job on January 1st of 2003, you know, I already knew that Genesee County and the Batavia area and the Finger Lakes region, with all the incredible brain power all across Western New York, is a special place. You know, it's worthy of our time and effort that this journey of driving economic growth really requires. And I got a testimony of that, of all these people sitting right here, my friends from the state that do the same every day on even a bigger scale. And they've been such a blessing to work with. You know, I faced into this opportunity and recognized, though, that some real challenges existed with my eyes wide open back then. While I knew I had fabulous physical infrastructure here locally, along with very committed community and municipal leaders and powerful regional assets, too, in terms of education, healthcare, infrastructure, and leadership, I also realized there was a huge need to build back manufacturing here locally, to upgrade our downtown area of our city center, which back in 2003 was in decline and suffering from years of business contraction and disinvestment right on our main street. And man, have we seen those things change, you know? We also needed to do more to bring our very capable workforce system more into the forefront and plug it in better to the economic opportunities that we were doing. And create better jobs for our children. Pardon me. And that's really been our true north for 20 plus years now. Bring back manufacturing and create more and better jobs for our residents and our children. But as I think about where we've grown and where we started, some very important things have been consistent. Our location is ideal business location, given we're nested right between New York's second and third largest metros and those partners that we have that can offer abundant talent, strong educational system. We have vast amounts of land and still do, even though we've chewed up a couple thousand acres in industrial parks. There's more to go. Mark's ready for it too, aren't you, baby? All right. And we've got auspicious infrastructure, particularly power assets with our friends from National Grid and our friends from the New York Power Authority. Our economic growth opportunities have come from helping to expand our economic base of our heartland industry agriculture, along with having a legacy of manufacturing experience and leadership throughout this county. And man, my mind immediately goes to agriculture. You know, I've had such a great, strong presence and input there with years of both Jim Vincent and Craig Yunker being on our board. You know, always keeping steadfast and keeping us our eye on the ball there to make sure we're growing that heartland industry. But then also advanced manufacturing, and one of my previous board chairs, I mean, a most amazing story, homegrown organic business, Liberty Pumps and Charlie Cook. Just a brilliant mind that built a brilliant business over the last 30 years. You know, when we started working with Charlie in 2003, he had just opened his 60,000 square foot facility at our Apple Tree Acres corporate park. He had about 35 people working for him then. Fast forward today, and 315,000 square feet later with 4 major expansions and 350 employees, all homegrown, organic, heartland of high quality products and loving people. You know, that's how you build a business. And man, the leadership and tutelage he provided to our team has been just amazing. You know, our site development focus has kind of been our hallmark of our economic development strategy for some 20 plus years now, and continues to track and support the growth of dairy and agricultural manufacturing, along with our other advanced manufacturing firms and distribution and logistics businesses as well. And we succeed in this endeavor by building a shared vision with our local communities and state and federal partners that focused on the impact that not only in the present, but for future generations to come of why we do what we do, and play so aggressively in you know, the business attraction circles and and work fervently to support our business, our homegrown businesses as they expand. In brief, our mission has been and will likely continue to be focused on building a sustainable long-term economy, building it by an ecosystem type approach that includes infrastructure development, workforce development. I see John Sanfratello here. I mean, our Genesee Valley BOCES has been nothing short of incredible as partners with us over the last few years, tying the workforce system together with the economic development. Downtown revitalization, another continued big focus, and even housing development, along with our business attraction, expansion, and retention efforts. You know, it takes a village to activate this strategy. And I've been overwhelmed over the years in support that we have received in this journey, you know, from our community leaders, business, government, education, non-for-profit, our legislators, our local, regional, state, and federal, landowners, and the agricultural leadership all across this county. This economic development strategy with focus on site development would have never taken off without the agricultural leadership that helped invest some land assets in making this real. And we look today and we have 40 different companies across our 8 industrial parks. And we have the promise of Edwards Vacuum breaking ground and helping us fill out the stamp dream that so many of us have pursued over the years. And our partners from all across the community, and then of course, most definitely our board of directors. Great leadership, great vision, great minds, and all because of your support. We're staying here today to be able to celebrate a little bit. We've activated 8 shovel-ready parks. We've supported existing businesses having expanded, and new businesses have come to the county considerably. Thousands of youth have been guided through career-focused workforce programs, thanks to Coach Swaz and all the teammates that support that, Jay Lazzaroni, John Sanfratello, and everybody else. Major investments have been made that have Batavia and our Ag Park, really a powerful and recognized dairy hub of the Northeast. We have another dairy hub being built in Webster. All that does is make Finger Lakes region so powerful. When you think about just this Ag Park we have has 1.2 million square feet of dairy processing assets, over 1,000 people working there. Between the continued growth at Owaka, H.B. Hood's growth, upstate Niagara's growth. It's a rather amazing story. Now you add Fairlife and Webster to make this region really, really powerful. You know, interstate exits across this county continue to thrive and have evolved into, thriving commercial corridors. Just look at the exit 48 interchange here in the town of Batavia, for example. There wasn't much there when I started, and man, with the leadership of the town of Batavia and the EDC and the board, we really activated that neighborhood, and now you can go get all kinds of stuff out there. But you know what? We got the same thing going on in Pembroke. We got the same thing going on in Bergen. Our Apple Tree Acres Park is just finished being filled up by the time Oxbow gets done building their big project. And poor Charlie, he's chewed up so much land out there, he's gonna have to look somewhere else someday. That's a blessing for an economic developer to be able to say. Your businesses have been that successful that they've chewed up all your industrial park land. And then of course Stamp is now the largest available mega site in New York State, focused on enabling regional growth with large advanced manufacturing and technology projects. While this is my last annual meeting, I'm humbled at the partnerships and the friendships that we've been able to cultivate, grow and nurture through the years, which have helped us respond to our True North mission and be recognized as one of the top 10 micropolitans in the U.S. in the last 20 years. While I'm not 100% today, you can see me, I got a broken wing, but I'm healing. I'm excited to get back to work soon on a couple key projects that the team has been working and diligently on before I hang up my sneakers at the end of the July. And to do that, that's so I can, go into that next season of life and spend a little more time with my beautiful wife, Joanne, who made it from school down the road here. I love you, dear. And man, she puts up with a lot, so thank you for that applause. And my adult children, Rob and Carissa, including 2 wonderful grandchildren, one of which is due any day out of sight. So, hey, the future is bright for Batavia and Genesee County. The economic trajectory is strong. You have a great team of incredibly dedicated professionals that I've had the distinct pleasure to coach and work with through the years that are fully ready to lead this next leg of the journey. Mark, Chris, Leslie, Jim, Penny, Lauren, and even Emma. She asked me if they had to grind up my food today and drink it through a straw. First thing she said to me when she saw me after 2.5 weeks, how do you like that? She's like our slapstick comedian. I love her. I can't thank you enough, man, for your incredible dedication to our True North. Been a real pleasure working with you all through the years. Thank you again for all you've done and continue to do for these years to come. It means a lot. Thanks. Many of you here and many of my colleagues around the state have heard me say that economic development's not a marathon and not a sprint, it's a marathon. Look at that, I screwed it up on my last time. Yeah, you know, I've always said economic development's a marathon, it's not a sprint. It's another one of those Hyde-isms that my team laughs about. I can see the finish line for me getting closer, but this is not the end of the race for Genesee County. It's really the beginning. The assets for continued economic growth and success have been built. I hope that in years to come, we can look back at this moment as the humble start of something even greater. May our great God bless you and protect you, and I thank you for the years of friendship and support. So long.
'As Steve mentioned, we are excited about the future. Steve has been a friend, mentor, and partner that I have been so fortunate to work with through the years. I'm confident that we will continue his legacy of success at the GCEDC. I'd like to say congratulations and thanks to Empire State Development Corporation and our friends from ESD Rochester and Finger Lakes Regional Office. Our keynote speaker for our 2024 annual meeting is the gentleman who had accepted the Partner of the Year award on behalf of Empire State Development, Jeff Januszewski. Without Jeff's advocacy and his steadfast commitment to Genesee County and New York, we would not be celebrating as many projects and achievements as we have. I think we sometimes forget that the GCEDC has been working on STAMP for almost 20 years, and believe it or not, I had hair back then. It's gone through vigorous reviews and studies that continue even to this day as it evolves. It is a complex undertaking when you think about the magnitude and scope of what we are trying to do at STAMP. Jeff has been integral to the progress made to date, and I'm confident in the progress we will continue to make in future years. Please give a warm welcome to Jeff Januszewski.
"20 years? It's 1994. That'd be 30 years ago. And we were approached by two semiconductor companies to propose sites, Samsung and Micron. And so I'm searching around for a huge site, and somebody from National Grid, Art, I don't know if it was you or one of the other people, said, well, there's this very large accumulation of acreage up in Alabama. Alabama? Where the hell is that? Alabama, New York? It's almost an oxymoron, right? So we go traipsing up there, and sure enough, lots and lots of land. So it was one of several sites that we proposed to both of those companies. We also proposed the Clay site, now known as White Pines, where Micron is going after 30 years. And the freshly minted Pataki administration comes in, January 1, 95, and says, we understand we were solicited by Samsung and Micron. What did they think of our sites? I said, I don't know, they never visited. They said, Jeff, we need a debrief. You need to find out why. Now, in those days, the semiconductor industry was very cyclical. It still is, but it was shorter cycles. And frankly, when I got the debriefing, there was some scary stuff like what they estimated with their personal property taxes in New York would be. We don't have one of those. It was time from site decision to shovel in the ground and factory built. And at that site, where there wasn't a lot going on, there's land, it was going to be too long. So the state started on the path, actually at my recommendation, of making sites shovel-ready. And it started with something called Chip Fab 98, and Build Now started making funds available. And this site, the Alabama site, became a focus. And in 2003, making that site shovel-ready became much more energized. So, and we know why. A certain person embraced the concept and understood the importance of having, as they would call it in the site selection business, product. Got to have some product. So, thank you, Mark, for that warm introduction and honoring Empire State Development as your partner of the year. We've been very pleased to support the efforts of Genesee County in creating this important opportunity and industrial park. This award means a lot to us. And it says here, as your reward, I'm going to keep my comments short. I don't know, Sherry. The dictionary describes partnership as a relationship involving close cooperation between the parties. Transformative economic development is not possible without it. My old boss, Howard Zemsky, used to say, economic development is a team sport. And we're very happy to be part of the Genesee County team. And what a team it's been, as well as many others in the room, frankly, as we collaborate together to navigate the ever-changing tide of industry changes and modernization. I've been in this game now for more than 40 years, right out of kindergarten. Let's just put it this way. I started my career just before Governor Cuomo took office, and I don't mean the last one. So, and I'm honored to lead the agency's Strategic Business and Global New York divisions. Our incredibly talented Strategic Business Development, or SBD team, is comprised of industry specialists who are responsible for managing the state's relationship with key strategic industry clusters, encouraging growth and attracting investment and jobs from employers all around the world. One of our all-stars, R.J. Ball, has joined us today. Yeah. A former industry director in SBD, Meredith Bar-Andrucci, used to have the semiconductor cluster and had a lot to do with helping move things forward with STAMP. And occasionally she would call me and say, well, we're hiding the sharp objects from Steve again, because some property owner wouldn't sell, some permit couldn't be had, and so on. The Global New York division includes international trade managers throughout the state and foreign offices around the world that provide export assistance to New York companies. The commissioner, who could not be here today because she's just back from Japan, was over there in Japan and Taiwan with my team chasing supply chain companies. And oh, by the way, I should mention, she's very apologetic that she couldn't make it here today. I hope I'm a satisfactory substitute. You were expecting the most senior person from ESD. You got it. Also from ESD, these talented teams, like ESD's EVP, Vinny Esposito, our Finger Lakes Regional Director, Laura Fox O'Sullivan, and project originator, Greg Albert, who are all here today and are committed to cultivating and assisting forward-thinking businesses with their next steps as they look to locate and grow in New York. And thanks to our partners like GCEDC, those efforts are paying off. As many of you know, the governor just announced the official startup of construction on the first phase of the $319 million Edwards Vacuum Dry Pump Manufacturing Facility at STAMP. another project near and dear to my heart that is changing economic development upstate. Now, Edwards chose the Genesee County site as its location for its new U.S. dry pump manufacturing facility, in large part thanks to the focused efforts of many people in this room. It just wouldn't have happened if it was still the Alabama site and we had done nothing with it or about it. Many kudos as well to Governor Hochul and her team for her administration's effort to support Edwards and to significant investments made by the Biden administration to increase domestic chip manufacturing in upstate New York. Do you see how it all, the team from local all the way to the President of the United States and the Majority Leader who pushed that CHIPS Act through? If that's my phone, put it under the table. In addition to the $319 million investment Edwards is making here in Genesee County, Micron, of course, has chosen to invest $100 billion, that's with a B, and millions more in community benefits just down the thruway and a new plant outside New York, Syracuse, New York. The president himself was in Syracuse yesterday, touting the region's status as a national tech hub. Buffalo, Rochester, and Syracuse have partnered on a deal that will create a tech hub in upstate New York that will support a workforce training program for New York's semiconductor industry, with a particular focus on training people from communities historically left behind, like women and people of color, to work in the industry. It is through these partnerships that we stand ready to revitalize the upstate economy one microchip at a time. And Empire State Development additionally remains committed to supporting all types of next-generation innovations and technologies. Over the course of my career, we've been so successful that we're literally worried about where the next site's going to be and where will the power come from. When I started my career, the idea that we couldn't find property with sufficient power was laughable because we were enduring tremendous industrial dislocations. So there was plenty of power to go around. Not so much anymore. We've done a good job, and folks here in Genesee County in particular have done a good job. Here in Genesee County, ESD has also been busy collaborating with them, our partners, assisting many other storied companies and dedicated entrepreneurs in building their futures. Because of our work together, for example, companies like HP Hood and Oatka Milk Products have been able to expand within the Genesee Valley Agri-Business Park, creating top-notch agribusiness job opportunities for the incredibly talented and regionally available workforce. Our support for that industry continues to pay off. Thanks to a personal pitch from our governor, she last week was able to join representatives from the Coca-Cola Company and Fairlife up the road in Monroe County, where they marked the groundbreaking of Fairlife's new production facility. And I'm not kidding. This governor is not afraid to pick up the phone and call businesses, and not reluctant either. In fact, anxious. She's very much helping sell the state of New York. A project like Fairlife represents a $650 million investment that will create the largest dairy production facility in the Northeast, creating opportunities for New York's renowned dairy farmers and the creation of 260 new jobs. When you couple it with the project going on down in Cattaraugus County, Great Lakes Cheese, the future has never looked brighter for the dairy industry in New York. That project, again like Edwards, are made possible by the many valued partners in the room, like, of course, the GCEDC folks, the team at Greater Rochester Enterprise, our utility partners like NYPA, RG&E, and many others. ESD is committed to continuing to work with all of you as we partner to empower business, helping them to realize their potential and create jobs and investment in the community and all across the Finger Lakes region. Finally, although it's already been echoed many times today, we want to take the opportunity to honor one of our most esteemed economic development partners, Mr. Steve Hyde, who's wrapping up his storied career here today. And I can't emphasize this enough. Steve is a giant in our profession in this state. You've been very fortunate to have him as your economic development leader and advocate. Now, the staff wanted me to roast him a little bit, though. So I started thinking about what am I gonna what am I gonna say? And, you know, I'm lying in bed last night trying to think of a few things, and I realized I got nothing. Good Christian man, has one drink and goes to bed at 9 o'clock. I got nothing. When Swazi retires, I got a half-hour material. I got more laughs than I thought.
You're the Godfather.
I'm the Godfather, yeah. So, Governor Hochul has sent along a citation celebrating his amazing career and thanking him for being such a valued economic development partner. Let me read some of it to you. Whereas New York State welcomes the opportunity to recognize individuals who, through their high standards of professional excellence, have served their fellow residents with distinction, it is therefore appropriate that we acknowledge Steve Hyde as he is recognized by his colleagues for his accomplishments. Whereas Steve earned his bachelor's degree at Cornell University and his master's of business administration from Rochester Institute of Technology. Whereas after graduating, Steve began his career at Xerox Corporation, where he served in a variety of managerial roles before becoming co-founder of the information technology service startup NetSetGo Incorporated. He later moved to the medical equipment manufacturer ResMed Incorporated and served as vice president of business and technology development. Whereas he joined the Genesee County Economic Development Center in 2003 and is now its president and CEO, wherein he focuses on regional economic growth through the construction of shovel-ready sites and engagement with nanotechnology, biomanufacturing, and food processing sectors. Under his guidance, GCEDC has forged strong public and private partnerships, created thousands of new jobs, generated more than $1 billion in new investments, and built the groundbreaking Science and Technology Advanced Manufacturing Park that we all call STAMP. Whereas Steve has contributed his experience and expertise to a number of additional organizations, including Greater Rochester Enterprise, Invest Buffalo Niagara, and the New York State Economic Development Council. He was named Economic Developer of the Year in 2012 by the New York State Economic Development Council. 7 years before I was. Whereas New York State joins with Steve's peers as they bestow appreciation upon him for his dedication to the economic success of Genesee County, which has garnered the respect and admiration of all those who have worked alongside him. Now therefore I, Kathy Hochul, Governor of the State of New York, do hereby confer this special citation upon Steve Hyde with best wishes for future success. Steve? We probably got to go over here.
I was fortunate enough to get that award in 2012. Jeff got it in 2019 only because of his humility. You know, he doesn't go around and flaunt all that he does, and so we finally figured it out in 2019 and got him in there too.
Thanks again, Jeff, and for everything that Empire State Development does, not only for Genesee County, but all of New York State. I would also be remiss if I didn't take a couple seconds to recognize the staff of the GCEDC who works so very hard day in and day out to ensure that we continue to strive for greatness here in Genesee County. And please hold your applause to the end. So Emma Finch, who's the smiling face that greets you at the door, and also has more energy than the rest of us can bear throughout the course of the day. Penny Kennett, If she calls you, just give her whatever invoice or discount she's asking for, because she will not stop, and she is very, very persistent. Coach Swaz, Chris Swazi. Unbeknownst to three of you in here, you are currently all in a bidding war for the same parcel of property with Chris. His passion for workforce and helping the youth of our county find their future is unstoppable. Lauren Casey. She is critical to ensuring that everything that gets approved gets signed and filed, as well as ensuring all of our numbers are accurate. She's also the only one in the office who laughs at my jokes. Leslie Farrell is the glue that holds our agency together. She's also makes sure that we are in compliance with all the rules and regulations, so yes, we are all a little scared of her. Jim Krenzik, he makes sure that all of our good news is released out in the press, and events like this today go out without a problem. I'd ask for a large round of applause for all of them. So that concludes our program, and I want to thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us today in celebration not only of the GCEDC success, but Steve's long-standing career and the result of that success. So please remember to take a copy of the GCEDC annual report. Enjoy your weekend and safe travels.